with USA Jasmine.
Welcome to the 13th Pan American Wushu Championship, sanctioned by the Pan American Wushu Federation, organized by the Brazilian Kung Fu Wushu Confederation, sponsored by CONFAI, Secretaria de Esportes do Distrito Federal e Governo do Distrito Federal.
Hi everyone, my name is Jade. I'm the mascot, and I'm here to welcome you to the 13th Pan American Wushu Championship.
More than 300 participants. Sanda, Taulu, and for the first time, categories for athletes with disabilities.
Let's salute the event officials. Judges, please march in.
Introducing the members of the Jury of Appeals.
Thomas Chan,
Oscar Lightborn,
Carlos Diaz,
introducing the Taolo judges.
Chief Referee Lu Xiaolin,
Head Judge Matthew Wong,
Judge 1 Willis Lam,
Judge 2 Maximilian Kobayashi,
Judge 3 Onar Rodarte,
Judge 4 Elisete Toledo,
Judge 5 Matthias Frolic,
Judge 6 Brandon Sugiyama,
Judge 7 Mateus Caetano,
Judge 8 Hannah Chow,
Judge 9 Flavia Crivelenti,
Judge 10 Jennifer Wang,
Judge 11 Julio Diaz,
Routine Inspector Lin Lin,
Introducing the Santa judges.
Chief Referee Marcos Alves,
Head Judge Pablo Stanelli,
Judge 1 Chiquita Simmons,
Judge 2 Brian Knight,
Judge 3 Silvio Cato,
Judge 4 Juan Gonzalez,
Judge 5 Roderick Cox,
Scoring Operator Karina Souza,
Timekeeper Renato Feijó,
Judges Please be seated. And first, on Taolu platform, we are going to start with Girls Group C, Changquan.
First competitor, Jasmine May. Valeria Dudamal, prepare.
We just had Jasmine May from the United States of America starting a day of competition here in Brasilia, Brazil for the 13th Pan American Wushu Championships.
We had a lot of notable, brilliant performance yesterday, and today we have a lot of exciting, fresh, new faces. Lots to look forward to today. We're starting off with the girls Group C Changquan. This will be a junior event.
What's the age for this group?
So Group C is comprised of kids 11 years old and under. So it's a pretty big age group.
They are so intense. I was watching them practicing before we opened up today, and it was amazing. Look at them. Ready to go. They take it very seriously. This is not child's play. I love watching them.
I think the intensity you see on the adults and the older kids is very impressive, but the intensity you see on these kids is something else.
Yeah, and since they're starting so early, they're all under 11 for this division right here. In 10 years, these kids, they will be flying.
They will definitely be flying. And another thing to note is that they'll all be doing a basic compulsory form. And everyone will be doing the same exact form, but it's comprised of a lot of basic movements, and these kids execute them really strong. So it sets a really good foundation for their future wushu.
So they're working on their
Next competitor,
fundamentals,
Valeria
their
Dudamel.
basic
Basically,
moves,
yes, yes.
making them
Almendra
stronger,
Martinez Uriola, prepare.
and then they can start with their creativity. But for now, they have to stick with the preset choreography.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it.
Nice. Now we have Valeria Dudamel from Venezuela. Let's see what she's got in store for us.
All these stances that they're executing, these empty stances right there, that horse stance, these bow stances, we're looking for them all to be leveled, horizontal. That bent leg, it needs to be flat.
Valeria seems to be very technical.
Yes.
She's serious about it. Look at her walking out of the competition area. Now I'm looking at the judges. They're not smiling. They're looking at her. They're really judging her performance. Are they just as tough with the little kids as they are with the adults?
Oh, if anything, I would say they're even more tough.
No
There's-
way.
There's only so many things to look at, and all those stance deductions, those small details, they're really looking at those things.
And they don't let anything go.
No. Gotta start them young, start them tough.
Yep. It's character building. I mean, obviously, we play around, but it's good to see kids growing up in martial arts. They become very responsible, determined adults and focused as well. I think it's important to teach the kids difficult things
Mm-hmm.
instead of giving them a 100% easy life when they learn to work for what they need and want. 7.906 for Valeria Dudamel from Venezuela.
So you see, she has a lot of those 5 deductions under her A score. Anything with the 5, remember those all are regarding stances.
Next competitor,
So she had
Sabrina
some
Ding.
deductions for her empty stance and for her cross-legged crouching stance.
Next, we have Sabrina Ding from the USA.
Solid landing. You see those solid landings? Those very low and just firm stances? She's not wobbly.
Not wobbly, she didn't slip at all.
Really powerful. See that empty stance? It's all the way flat.
Now, for her to achieve this technical level at age under 11, she has to have started early in life, right?
Yes.
She's got at least a few years of practice.
A
under
few
her belt.
years, and I will say her coach is a previous China athlete, an excellent athlete, and so she gets some good teaching there.
Good instruction
Good
there.
instruction there. Start them young, start them strong. They're so serious.
Very. I feel like they're even more intense than the adults yesterday.
Right?
Yeah, and also when they start competing this early in life, they continue competing. They're gonna compete. They're gonna see each other a lot in all of the tournaments all around the world. They're gonna be competing with and against each other for a very long time. Some friendly rivalry there.
Yes, friendly rivalry. And you see afterwards, some of them are talking to each other, meeting each other, hugging each other. It's a good thing to see.
Encouraging each other. Yeah, I like it. I like it. There were a few performances yesterday where the athletes nailed it, and the other athletes competing against them were like fist bumping them, congratulating them. It was awesome to see. 8.610 for Sabrina Ding.
Solid.
Solid scoring there.
And you'll see most of these scores, that 8 score will be
Next
very, very
competitor,
crucial.
Aaron
Any
Ken.
deduction will really hurt the score. And you'll be seeing a lot of stance deductions. That's the main deduction here. And then any loss of balance, extra steps, stuff like that.
No. Aaron Ken from Bermuda. Her coaches were telling us just last night how they went to Bermuda for a few months to coach the kids there, the students there. And it looks like it's paying off. Beautiful.
Slight touch of the ground there. It's going to cost her a point. Solid performance. I was talking to her before the performance and before the competition, and she was telling me that she was nervous. She walked away, she turned around, she walked back to me, and she said, "But I'm excited."
I love that. Nervous and excited. I think her
Yeah.
butterflies were flying on formation, right?
Yes, for sure. I think at a young age too, some kids get super nervous and it takes them over, but some kids are able to just perform because I think they worry less, they fear less, and they're able to just leave it all out on the carpet.
And Aaron definitely did. And they have fun as they're doing it.
Yes, for sure.
I didn't see not even one kid complaining they were here, like trying not to do their routine. They're all practicing, they're smiling, they're intense.
And starting on Samba platform, the first group.
So you can hear in our video, possibly, you can hear the Sanda side starting up their competition. If you want to catch their live stream, their session, you can find it on the YouTube channel as well in a separate video.
$7.956 for Aaron Kent from Bermuda.
Solid. See that 71 there? That'll be from her touching the ground.
That earns her a third place so far. Next we have two
Next
athletes
up,
from
Amelia
Chile.
Greenberg Chancerelle.
Amelia Greenberg will go first. Amelia Greenberg, Chancerelle. Ready to go. And are their performances just as long, a minute and 20 seconds, or is there a difference in time there?
For the C group, there's no time limit here. That was Almendra from Chile.
Almendra Martinez.
So just a refresher, these kids are all competing in junior events. This is girls group C Changquan. And so they'll all be doing the same compulsory form. This is the number 3 elementary routine. And they'll be judged with 2 panels of judges. They'll receive an A score and a B score. A score looks at their technical performance, and their B score looks at their overall performance.
What are our judges looking at for the overall performance?
Overall performance is the athleticism, the power, the endurance, the strength throughout, um, the way the movements flow, their spirit in it too.
They have their game face on. 7.010 for Almendra Martinez.
You can see the athletes as they finish. They look at the board. They
Next
try to
competitor,
understand
Amelia Grunberg
what they
Tesserel.
did, what they were
Alice
deducted
Ju,
on.
prepare.
It's a really good place for them to start understanding wushu more. So that back leg came up, that heel, you want to keep that heel flat on the ground. This is an empty stance. You want that back leg to be flat, parallel to the ground. This form seems really short, but it's deceivingly tiring too. She had a touch there.
Touch on the ground there. It's one of those things you think it's easy and then you try it.
Oh yes. I'll teach you this form after.
It's a good workout. Now, how important is it to study the game? How much video watching is there in their preparation? Do they do that a lot?
I think it varies athlete to athlete, but it definitely helps to not just take your perspective on it and your coach's perspective on it, but to see how other athletes in the game have tackled this form currently and in the past. Especially because wushu is always evolving, yeah. And if you look at this form, this specific form, in 2008, is completely different from how competitors are executing it now.
The same form.
The same
The
form.
same form
There's
executed
a lot more
different.
flair now. There's a lot more style now. Yes.
Amazing. So you can even though it's the same moves, you can always add your own style. You can make it your own, even though you're doing the same routine.
Yes, for sure. When we see some of those athletes adding their own little flair to it later, we'll be sure to point it out.
Nice. She will have a few deductions there.
Yes.
She touched the ground and her leg came off the floor. Her
Yes.
heel came off the floor a couple times. But let's see what they have prepared for Amelia Greenberg. We would like to say hello to everybody that is there watching on the live on the YouTube broadcast right there. People saying good morning once again. Saludos de nuevo. Good morning, everybody. Where are you guys watching it from? Are you in Brazil, Argentina, República Dominicana, Chile? Where are you guys? Venezuela. We have people from all over. Obviously, we have people from the United States as well. Let us know with your country flag where you're watching from. We have people from Argentina. Buen dia, Argentina. 6.173 for Amelia Greenberg.
Definitely a lot of A group deductions there.
Next competitor, Alice Ju. Pakari Naira Hanantun Pineda, prepare.
You can see she's a little bit
It's-
disappointed with her score, but it's a learning experience.
Definitely, there's nothing to lose here. She's learning, she's training, she's getting experience.
Athlete from the U.S. on right now, Alice Zhu. She looks like she might be one of the older kids in this group. Notice that it's 11 and under, so that can go from 6 years old to 11 years
To
old.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Strong steps, strong stances.
Very solid movements there.
Solid.
Very controlled, balanced.
You can see the difference between the athletes.
Totally.
And this is where the B score really comes into play.
Yeah, Alice did not come to Brazil for the trip. She's looking for gold.
Beautiful performance.
Solid. I didn't catch any deductions.
I didn't catch anything. The
We'll
judges
see.
have really good eyes, though. Let's see what they see.
And if you're watching the broadcast, you probably can hear all the Sanda screaming as well. It seems like the crowd just woke up. We have some fierce fighters over there also doing their thing. Very exciting morning here. And Alice just got an 8.796. Solid score. That earns her a first place for now. Let's see.
See, no deductions there. That's a full 5. in
Next
her A.
competitor, Pakari
That's what you
Naira
want.
Hanantun
Amazing.
Pineda. Violet Young, prepare.
Amazing. But the day is just starting. We still have several athletes going, many athletes ready to perform. And look at this girl.
She's so cute. She's so tiny.
Tiny and young, fierce.
Fierce. It takes a lot of courage to step onto this
I
carpet
know.
and do what they do. It's very commendable.
I know she's gonna grow up. There's no scary challenges for her. It builds confidence. I mean, can you imagine this girl, 25, boardroom meeting? She's not gonna be intimidated by anybody.
No one's gonna mess with her.
Nope.
Looks like there might be a few deductions here and there. Stances weren't quite horizontal and a few bobbles. So let's see what the judges will do with that.
Very good. Definitely. No matter what happens with the score, definitely a winner right there. Pacari Naira Juanacuni Pinedo. Beautiful, powerful name, too.
Beautiful name.
All right. The Argentinos are here. So many Argentina flags here. We also have saludos from Mexico as well. A bunch of Brazilian people, more Mexicans. This is so nice. Good morning from São Paulo, Brazil. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We have everybody here.
6 points. You got it? Go ahead.
6-0 for Pacari from Bolivia. Very nice. She's all smiles. She's hugging her coach. This is a winner
Violet
right
Young.
there.
That's
Addison
good
Lamb,
spirit.
prepare.
Yeah, just coming from Bolivia and performing here in the Pan American Wushu Championship is already a win. And she's learning. She's competing against older girls that have been doing it for way longer than she has, and she still was not intimidated and did her routine. Violet seems to be a little bit faster. Like she chose to do it, and that's something that they have the freedom to do, right? To
Yes.
perform a little bit faster or slower.
That's another aspect. That's another area where they can add their own flavor,
Little
their
flair.
own choice to it. Yes.
Nice.
Some take it with a really intense approach. Some take it with a clean, solid, slow approach. Each athlete will take it in their own way. Solid performance.
Very well prepared athlete. You can see that even now as she waits for her score, she's staring at the judges. Hands on her back, facing the judges, staring at them. Chile presente. Have Chile, Mexico, United States, Brazil, Venezuela. Good morning, everybody. Good to have you here for the 13th Pan American Wushu Championship. We're watching the girls group C, and they are under 11 years old. They're all doing the same routine, but as 8.260 for Violet Young. Very good, solid performance there. That puts her in fourth place for the moment.
Addison Lamb.
But we still have one
Alessandra
more
Schwartz,
performance
prepare.
from Addison. They are doing their the same routine, but they can add their own flavor to it. Let's see what Addison has for us. Very good, strong, long arms.
Strong, super clean, super crisp.
I feel like she has stronger like head movements as well. A little bit of her personality there.
Yeah, that solid head snap.
Yeah,
Call it a head snap.
a head snap.
Yeah. All those kicks she just did there, they all need to meet shoulder height, shoulder level. If they fall below the shoulder, it will be a deduction.
That's a deduction.
Yeah. So you can see, like when we were watching the adults and the older kids yesterday, it's so fast. You were not sure if it's a deduction. It might be, it might not be. But you can see here with these kids forms, they're so technical, they're so basic and fundamental. You can see it, and it's just comprised of all basic fundamentals.
And the judges they have very good eyes. They're examining only that, right?
Yes.
They have their own set of things that they're looking at.
Final score.
8.780 for Addison.
Solid. Full 5. So that means
Amazing.
he was a little lower than the first place, but that gives her really solid standing right now.
Next competitor,
she's-
Alessandra Schwartz.
Coach is happy. Saw
Melissa
that.
Elizabeth Flores Milan.
She's almost
prepare.
tied it for first place. She's second place right now, but got really close to the first place right there. Right now we have Alessandra Schwartz from the United States of America on the floor right now. Kick right at shoulder level right there.
Clean. See the way they drop into their stances.
Beautiful. Beautiful performance.
All these athletes have been giving really clean, really solid performances.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see the final lineup of this event. I feel like it's going to be a close call with those top placers.
Just like last night, we didn't know who was going to win until the
Yeah.
very end. Nobody was safe. It seems like
Nobody's
it's the
safe.
same thing this morning. But who is your favorite athlete? Who you watching on YouTube? Who are you rooting for? Who are you here to watch? Let us know in the comments here. Who are you supporting this morning? 8.436 for Alessandra Schwartz from the United States. These girls are not playing around. Alessandra
Next
just got a
competitor,
fourth
Melissa
place right
Arizpe
there. We have our
Flores,
12th
Milan.
athlete from Mexico
Chong
right
from
now.
Japan.
Melissa Arizbe. She's wearing a classy pink silk.
Ooh, look at that gradient. Has an empty stance right there. That needs to be parallel to the ground. The empty stances that we see are probably one of the more challenging stances in this form to complete. So you see, if you see kids practicing on the side and beforehand, they're really stretching that out, getting that into their bodies before they compete.
There's a reason why we see all of them practicing that one before the performance,
Yes,
right?
for sure. And it takes a lot of leg strength. So again, these kids are not just practicing their wushu, they're also strengthening their bodies, building the muscles, the endurance needed to complete these forms. So a few wobbles here and there. And a few stances that weren't quite low enough. So we'll be expecting some deductions here, but solid performance nonetheless.
She's definitely well prepared. It seems like she's not as athletic as the previous girls. She's probably building that strength and those muscles to perform. She will be a force to reckon with
Yes.
in the next few years. She keeps practicing. She's going to be a solid, solid competitor. She's on the right track, isn't she?
She's on the right track, yes. That's a good observation. And all these kids are the future of wushu.
They are.
They are.
They are the next generation.
We're looking at it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Future of wushu.
Keep an eye on these guys. But yeah, building muscle and building all of the strength and core strength and all the movements, it takes time.
A lot
You
of
start
time.
practicing, you see a kid who's been doing it for 5, 6, 7 years, and another one doing it for a couple years, you really can tell the difference.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
How much does natural talent play into it?
Natural athletic talent for sure plays a lot into it. I think aside from that, just that fiery passion that some of these kids have, some of these kids really want it. They want it themselves, and that attitude, along with the athleticism combined, super. It's a force
Goes
to
a
be
long
reckoned
way.
with. Yes, for
Goes
sure.
a long way, right? And one thing I noticed is that in all the kids I've been watching, they really want to be here. They
Yes.
don't look like they're being forced, because that's also something else that happens. Sometimes the kid doesn't want to practice, but the parents make them practice
Yes.
for many different reasons. Sometimes some reasons better than others than other reasons. But sometimes we see that, and here all the kids seem very happy. They're excited. They want to do it. They want to be here, and I think that makes a difference. They really want it. And I gotta say, that's my favorite silk for the day so far.
So far,
Gradient, pink, white.
the score seems to be taking a little bit longer than the other ones.
She seems to be getting a little bit anxious there for her score. She keeps looking around, staring at the judges, looking at us. 6.256 for Melissa Aresbe from Mexico. We have people. We have people here supporting everybody. We have Maria Paula Teixeira saying that Alessandra was the
Next
best.
competitor,
Alessandra from
Chloe
the
Chung.
USA
Molina wins.
was the
Prepare.
best so far. We have people from Argentina, Renato Mancia being supported here as well. Carol Zamora from Mexico being supported here. It's good to see all the friends and family supporting their athletes. It's very important for them. And now on the floor, we have Chloe Trong from the United States.
I would hate to be a judge right now. These kids are all so brilliant. How do you give them different scores? I want to give everyone the best score.
You want to make everybody the champion, right?
Yeah. These kids put a lot of hard work into this.
They're inspiring. You can definitely tell there's hours and hours and hours of practice to this routine.
I would
Six.
like to point out the hours and hours of this routine. That's a lot of hours and hours from the coaching to the
The-
coaches too. And I think especially in this event, this age group, the coaches do a really good job of being patient and training these kids.
Yeah, you see the athletes on the floor, and the coaches are here. They're not there. They're not in the spotlight, but they definitely deserve a recognition. They need to be acknowledged.
Yes, for sure.
And all of the kids, when they finish, they look at their coaches. They want that encouragement. They want the like a nod or something of approval.
Yes.
You know, they 8.483 for Chloe Trong. So you can tell they have a good relationship with their coaches and their teams.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, we acknowledge all the
Next
coaches
competitor,
because
Melina
they really
Wynn.
do
Colette Cook,
a
prepare.
lot of work and good work with the kids.
I was talking to the Chile coach earlier, and we were talking about how all the kids are different. He has four kids from Chile, and this kid is nervous. This kid wants to compete right now. Everyone's different. They really have to cater their coaching and their patience to each student.
And then there's the kid who gets anxious, cannot fall asleep the night before. Have the
Doesn't
kid, who,
I
yeah,
had a coach telling me like the kid was like, "I'm not hungry. I
yeah.
have to eat."
The coaches become a little bit of a parent, a little bit of a psychologist,
Yeah, in a sense.
a counselor, become a little bit of everything. Try to help their athletes perform their best.
Wow, we have a really strong performance right now from Melina Nguyen from the USA. You can see her power through her movements. I was talking to her before the competition. I asked her if she was nervous. She said no, strong no. She was game face.
Fantastic stances right there.
Very explosive throughout the
I
form.
know. Might be the most athletic of the day.
Strong performance, really strong
Strong,
performance.
strong performance from Molina from the United States.
You see the coaches on the side. A lot of these athletes have never been out of the country competing. It's a new stage. It's much larger. The venue. It's so grand. The coaches are kind of telling them how where they'll salute, when they'll walk on, where they'll stand. Really prepping them for this competition.
8.673 for Molina from the US of A.
Next
Solid. Look at
competitor,
that
Colette
standing
Cook.
That earns
Sarah
her-
Rivera Bruno,
I
prepare.
know.
USA.
That earns her a third place. As of now, she's on the podium. Very good. And now, talk to us a little bit about this little ninja right there.
Little fiery ball. This is Colette Cook from the USA. Yesterday, her brother actually competed also in the boys division. There's a family of wushu athletes here.
Does that give them an advantage since it's a family passion?
I don't think so, but I think they have that energy together.
Definitely.
That was a little bit of a wobble there. Took too many steps.
So tiny and so powerful at the same time.
So grounded.
I know. So cute. Fernanda is here cheering for Joaquin Hernandez. It's good to see all the athletes being supported by their countrymen, their friends, their family, everybody here. You can share this live stream with your friends and family as well. Let's get everybody watching. Again, if you want to catch the Sanda as well, we're also broadcasting that just on the same channel, different live stream. It's happening. You might be able, 8.376. You might be able to hear a little bit of the screaming
Next competitor,
out there.
Sarah
We share
Bruno,
the stadium
Letitia Fong,
here.
prepare.
And I want to ask you, Jess, what is like when something happens on the other side with the Sanda and people start screaming and the crowd reacts? Does that throw the athlete off? The athlete who's doing the taolu here, trying to concentrate, everybody starts screaming about something else.
They just have to channel it out. It's especially
Block it out, right?
yeah, especially when they have a really good bout going and the crowd is really going wild. It's hard to concentrate, but they really have to just block it out, channel it in.
Just one more challenge. Seems like that kick was a little bit lower than shoulder level.
Good call. So they also recently added a new rule and role to these competitions. They have a routine inspector, which means that these compulsory forms must be performed a certain direction, a certain way with the correct movements. And so if there are missed movements or an addition of movements or the wrong direction, there are deductions for that as well.
Sara Rivero Bruno from Chile. And again, they're just as tough with the kids as they are, if not more, with the adults.
If you're just joining us now, we're starting this morning session off with girls Group C Changquan. We're on our last 3 competitors for the girls, and then we'll be moving over to the boys.
7.416 for
Next
Chile
competitor,
right now.
Letitia Fong.
Sarah,
Linda Carol Zamora Gonzalez, prepare.
Those stance
Confident.
deductions really hit her there. They're
It
all
really-
with the 5.
mhm.
Next up, we have Letitia from the U.S.
Letitia Fong. Letitia seems very confident.
She seems very calm.
I know.
Yeah. I think you can also tell a lot by an athlete by the way they walk onto the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you're not on when you stand on the carpet, you're on before. So it starts from the moment you salute the judges, you walk on, and you perform.
You're already on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at her before her performance. She was fine. She wasn't jittery. She wasn't looking nervous. She was just calm there, and it really shows in her performance.
Clean performance from Letitia.
Beautiful, beautiful, solid performance. Let's see what the judges have for her. I didn't really catch a deduction there, but the judges might have. Let's see. Solid score. 8.556 for Letitia Fong from the US of A.
Good score. You can see that she still scored pretty high, but that puts her in 5th place. So
Next
those first
competitor,
4
Linda
scores
Carroll
are
Zamora
really
Gonzalez.
neck and neck.
Audrey
Yeah.
Zhao, prepare.
And now Carol Zamora from Mexico is up. She walks in very confidently.
See some of these stances, they might not be quite parallel to the ground. This one right here, that's an empty stance. That right there's a bow stance, so those all have to be parallel to the ground.
She didn't make it quite that parallel.
That was Mexico.
Well done.
athlete Linda. We have a question here in the chat from Jay. What do these commentators look like? I would just tell you, handsome and beautiful. That's all I have to say. But we are coming to you from the 13 Pan American Wushu Championships. My name is Jessica Shai, and I'm with.
Marcelo Eugenio.
We are very excited to be here.
Again, we had an amazing day of competition yesterday, and that was just the start. We did the evening yesterday. The opening ceremony was beautiful as well, and today we're starting off with a bang. The girls group C, all the girls under 11 years old, they're competing, and Carol Zamora from Mexico just got a 6.813. That places her in 15th place right now.
You see those 5 deductions
Next
again. The judges
competitor,
are being
Audrey
really,
Zhao.
really critical with these technical movements. So our last girl from this event, Audrey Zhao from the USA. Let's see how she does. If she can knock some people out and get a podium finish.
Let's see what Audrey has prepared.
Clean routine so far. Super clean stances. The thing with this form is literally every single move is some sort of technical movement. In the adults, you see maybe they have one drop stance, one horse stance in their entire form, but these forms are comprised entirely of basic movements. So there's so many chances for deductions. Super clean performance.
Little head snap there. She walks off. We're gonna tell them to show our faces. You might regret this, at least when you see mine. If you look up our hashtag, you might see us as well on Instagram. Wushu Pan 2022. Let's see if Audrey is gonna make the podium.
It's always intense when you have really solid athletes at the end of a lineup. That means athletes are nervous until the very, very end. You never know what will happen with the placings.
Yeah, you might be on the podium to the last performance. 8.313 for Audrey.
Solid performance, not quite enough to get her on the
Puts her
podium.
9th place.
Some deductions and stances there. That concludes this event, so we'll be moving on to the boys. Group C, Changquan, will be the boys completing the same routine.
It's going to be interesting to see how
competitor,
different the boys
Axel
will
Gonzalez
look
Sanchez.
doing the same
You think
routine
you
as
prepare?
the girls.
Yes, for sure. That's a really good point. And we have some strong competitors here. There's 20 boys total. And actually in this group, we have a boy who at the recent World Junior Wushu Championships took gold in this exact event.
Wow, it's amazing. And happy birthday to Valeria Dudamel from Venezuela. She's competing on her birthday. Is there a better way to celebrate her birthday than competing the Pan American Wushu Championships? On the floor, we have Axel from Mexico. Very powerful young boy right there.
You can see the seriousness on his face, the determination. They don't take this competition lightly.
Nope. This is not child's play.
You see, when he lands his stances, he has a slight bobble there. That's not necessarily a deduction, but that's something that the B judge might be looking at. They'll factor into his overall performance. It's not as favorable.
Not as favorable for the overall, but again, not a clean deduction there.
Yes,
He
exactly.
bobbled a little bit.
We're really looking for these athletes to stick their stances, stick their landings.
So that was the first of the boys, Group C. It was the first performance right there. He's opening up, and that was Axel from Mexico. Those tense moments when we're waiting for the score. Axel doesn't even move. $6.970 for Axel from Mexico.
Next competitor, Ethan Yip. Huascar, sorry, wanting to prepare.
Next, we'll have Ethan Yip from the United States.
Look at the way he walks on. That's what we're talking about, that performance from beginning to end. Super quick movements.
Quick, powerful, long.
It's very clean routine.
Very high kick right there.
So these kids not only practice their strength, their wushu, they have to factor in their flexibility.
Beautiful high side kick.
Shoulder level. See that flavor he added there?
Totally.
Kind of like making his own. Clean performance. I couldn't really pick anything out. Did you see anything?
No, I didn't see any deductions there. All his kicks were high. He's very well balanced. Landed everything.
You can see him breathing there in the video. Super short form, but still super hard.
He left everything on the carpet. And that's what we want to see. We want to see these kids walking in confidently, which he did, and then performed at his best.
All these kids competing today are amazing too. They're here representing their country, but they all have to make their national team before they can come here.
8.536 for Ethan from the USA. Yeah, they're not only
Next
representing their
competitor,
gyms,
Oscar,
their
sorry,
academies, but
Harrison.
they're representing
and,
their country,
Yes.
and it wasn't an
Aaron
easy road
Hub,
to
prepare.
get there, was it?
No, if you look at the national competitions within each country, they're also just as competitive, if not even more.
Just as tough as the Pan American, or maybe
Yeah.
even more, to get here.
It's very intense,
So when they get here, they already worked a lot for this.
for sure.
Like I said, being here, competing, performing for the 13th Pan American Wushu Championship, that's already a win.
We have Bolivia on right now. You don't notice the difference in the cleanliness of the form. He has a lot of power and it's very fast movements, but the movements are not as distinct as some of the other athletes.
As Ethan, for example, just before him, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that feeling of finishing my job. I just did what I came here to do. That
So-
must feel good. But now, some of these athletes, we're seeing them, but they're not done competing.
No,
They're competing different things, right?
you took the thought right out of my mouth. That's literally what I was gonna say next. But we saw Group A kids compete yesterday. Those were from 15 to 18 years old, and for those kids, they're allowed a maximum of 4 events.
Okay.
For these kids here, they're allowed a maximum of 2 events.
2 events.
1 bare hand and 1 weapon of their choosing. So they'll all compete in Changquan today, all the girls and
Next
the boys.
competitor,
And then
Aaron
over the
Huff.
next day,
Darius
we'll see
Sepulveda's
them compete
Cornejo
in their chosen weapon.
Their
So they're allowed
chosen
2
weapon
events.
as well.
Yes. So we'll see them one more time.
Nice. These kids, they're under 11 years old and they're competing in 2 different events.
This is Aaron from USA. His hair really adds to his head snaps there.
I know. He's got style. And I like his silks as well.
Yeah. Super powerful movements. You can tell by his hair. Clean. That was super clean. That was an outstanding performance.
Outstanding. Beautiful. I don't know if there is such a thing, but he has very mature movements. He doesn't move like a little child.
That's a really good observation.
He's been doing it for probably for most of his life. You can tell he didn't start doing these moves last week. .510 for Aaron from the United States. And I gotta say, I think his silk is my favorite for today. What was your favorite silk for today so far? We had the girls, now we had a few of the boys already. What was your favorite silk for today? Jess, what's your
Next
answer?
competitor, Dario
Mine, I think
Sepulveda
it's Aaron's.
Parejo,
I love it.
Alexander He,
I
prepare.
love it. We have this orange one coming on soon too. I really like it. Earlier when he was practicing, his pants really stood out to me.
We'll see. You guys will see very, very soon. This black and gold from Dario Sepulveda from Chile is also very beautiful. I think I like the gradient pink and white from one of the girls earlier today. We have very beautiful ones. They're doing their thing in style. Great taolu and looking good while they do it. High kick right there. You can tell Dario worked very hard on his performance. The golden silk from Ethan was very beautiful. You're right. You are right, Jing.
So some of the kids from the Chile team, they come from different schools. But the coach said that they had a few practices where they gathered all the kids together, just so that everyone can get to know each other, build that team spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a smart decision there. It's a smart move to get them practicing together. .106 for Dario Sepulveda from Chile. Got a few
Next
deductions
competitor,
there.
Alexander
Heard him.
He,
And now
Juan,
the
prepare.
orange silk Jess was talking about
Yes.
really stood out for her.
This is Alexander He from United States.
Wow, beautiful.
So clean so far. with these compulsory forms because everyone's doing the same thing. It's all those small details that really, really matter.
They really matter.
Yeah.
Solid performance.
Solid. Look at the shiny stuff on his silks. I love it.
Yeah, and how much does like they give it to him? Does he have a say on how he wants to look? Say, hey, I want it silver, I want it orange, I want a dragon. Does he have a say on that, or
That's
he
a really
gets it
good question.
ready?
I know the
The-
older kids and the adults in wushu will tend to make their own designs and pick their own color.
Nice. 8.620 for Alexander.
Puts him in first place.
Yep, we have a new lead.
Next competitor.
He's all
is
happy,
Changquan.
smiling.
Yes, he's
Joaquin
happy with his
Hernandez Salinas, prepare.
performance. Let's see if he can hold his standing, though. We still have quite a few athletes in this division.
As we said before, nobody's safe until the last one performs.
We have another athlete from the U.S. right now, Evan Zhuang. Super
Again,
strong opening.
Yeah.
You can tell he has his own twist to it, his own style with it.
Oh, wow.
He really adds his own flavor to this.
Yeah, almost a little bit like theatrical.
Yeah, but you can really tell it sets him apart from the other athletes we've seen.
Invokes emotions.
You can tell a lot of thought goes into performing this then. He's not
Mhm.
just completing the movements, he's really thought about where he can accentuate and add to his form. Clean.
Very artistic, emotional. I like that. So now he waits for his score, but that's gotta feel good when you go out there, you perform, and you nail your performance. That's gotta feel very good right now.
Yes. And he's not showing it, but you know he has that huge sigh of relief inside. He's nailed everything he needed to. I have a feeling this one's going to be high marks.
Jing Hong is telling us that yeah, they got to choose their own silk, and it's a fun process. I can imagine. I would have a lot of fun with it as well.
There's so much detail that goes into it. You see even his lining. His lining is gold on him right now, whereas some athletes will have it match the silk.
Uh-huh.
So there's so much detail that goes into it.
Fourth place, 8.430 for Evan from the USA.
Next competitor, Joaquin Hernandez Salinas.
That sigh of
Jonathan
relief, you can
Jesus
see it on
Sanchez,
his
prepare.
face. Walking by.
He is happy. He's like, I did it.
Did really well.
Perform. I did what I came here to do. Now we have another Mexicano, Joaquin Hernandez Salinas. Can tell he's really focused right there, ready to go.
Some of these stances aren't quite low enough.
It did look a little high there. So that's a sure deduction, or
Those are definitely short
Definitely.
deductions. Especially in this form, they're just looking at so few things. Those stanzas really have to be on point.
on point, right?
Executing those stances is a combination of flexibility and strength. I like his look too. The fiery red with the gold on it.
Uh-huh. Joaquin Hernandez Salinas from Mexico waits for his score right there. And the stadium is about to explode because our next athlete is going to be an athlete from Brazil. So let's see what the Brazilian crowd will do when he walks in.
Their first one of the day.
First one of the day. Yesterday we could see how excited they were. Every time a Brazilian athlete would step on the carpet, crowd would go crazy. 6.7563 for Joaquin Hernandez.
Next competitor, Jonathan Jesus dos Santos. Lucas Stong, prepare.
Jonathan Jesus dos Santos. Jonathan Jesus dos Santos from Brazil, starting his performance. Seems like the Brazilian crowd is not awake yet.
Not awake yet. Definitely awake on the Sanda side though.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're here earlier in the morning. Our morning will be packed in with some junior events from Group C, Group B, and Group A. We tend to put these junior events earlier in the day so that the kids can get back home and rest. Solid performance so far. That was really strong.
Solid performance by Jonathan right there. Let's see where that puts him. But he had a very solid performance. Crowd liked it. .013 for Jonathan.
He has
From Brazil.
452 deductions across the board. Those 52 deductions are his empty stances.
Next
So all those
competitor,
empty
Lucas
stances
Stong.
weren't quite
Dennis
low
Stong,
enough.
Quite low
prepare.
enough.
I'll point out the empty stance in this next form so you know what it looks like. Those are especially hard to execute. So this is Lucas from US. This is the boy I was talking about.
Uh-huh.
The last World Junior Wushu Championships, he took gold in this event. That's an empty stance right there.
Right there.
So those have to be parallel to the ground. And there's a total about 4 or 5 empty stances in this form alone. So not hitting those, not having that skill in your arsenal is a deduction for every single one that you miss.
Which really hurts your score.
Yes, for sure. Pretty clean performance from Lucas. A little bit slower pace
Uh-huh.
compared to some of the other strong athletes. Let's see what the judges give him here.
Maybe he chose that. He seems to be very tired. Maybe
very
he
tired.
chose that. Experienced athlete. He took gold in the worlds, right, for
It was
this
kind of a
event.
safer approach to it.
Maybe. We can definitely tell he knows what he's doing. Let's see what the judges think about it. 8.686.
Wow, that puts him in first place.
That puts him in first place
Just
right
solid
there.
performance. This full A score, all 5 points. His little brother is actually going up right after him.
Nice.
This is Dennis Dong from the U.S. Also
Next
a really,
competitor,
really
Dennis
talented
Dong.
athlete.
Julian Theo, prepare.
Back when we were at our U.S. national team trials, I asked him if he liked competing with his brother. He was like, no, not really.
Not really. Yeah, and his little brother. It would be funny to see if his little brother edges him.
Edges him, yeah.
Can you imagine? He just scores higher and takes first place over his brother, his older brother.
Really talented
That'd be
athletes,
interesting.
though. That would be exciting to see.
Interesting dinner conversation. It must be fun to practice together.
Yeah, for sure. Having a training buddy is always important.
Uh-huh. Having that extra help and input from someone who really knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and the push to beat each other, but also become better together.
Yes.
Clean performance so far. Let's see if you can see it through to the end. That was his last stance right there. Pretty clean performance.
He hit it all. He hit them all.
I bet his brother is holding his breath right now, waiting for his score.
It must be bittersweet. You're rooting for him, but you don't want him to beat you.
Yeah, for sure.
You still want to win, but you're rooting for your brother. I'm sure there's lots of learning opportunities and teaching opportunities for the parents as well regarding the competitions and training, helping each other, getting better together. 8.593, very close, but he's still in third place.
So he has that one deduction. It's going to be a bow stance. That hurt him a little bit, so that deduction is a 0.1 deduction. If he did not
Next
have it, he would
competitor,
have an
Julian Theo.
8.693.
Elijah Ambrose, prepare.
And we may have a podium with both of them. Right now, that's where they are. First and third place for the Dong family. Julian on the carpet right now from the USA as well. The USA team very well represented here. Many athletes in all of the events. This 13th Pan American Wushu Championships, we have 300 athletes representing 16 different countries here in Brasilia, Brazil, the capital of the country, the federal district, and even the sports department from the state. They sponsor the event, and they're being really supporting sports in the city. We thank them. We appreciate all of the support. Also, the Pan American Federation, Wushu Federation, sanctioning the event, and the Brazilian Kung Fu Federation hosting the event here in Brasilia. That was a solid performance by Julian. Let's see what the judges think about it. We can see Argentina well represented, Brazil, Chile, Mexico here on the chat as well, supporting their favorite athletes.
The final score for for Julian, 8.246. That puts him in 7th place right now.
Next competitor, Elijah Ambrose, Isaac Suri, Adriano Rojas,
Another
prepare.
US athlete. On the carpet, we have Elijah. Clean movements, clean landings.
You can hear Elijah being cheered on by his fans right here as well. What did you think of his performance?
Super solid,
Solid?
performance. Really clean, really powerful. You'll see some of his transitions into those stances too. Some athletes will take a while to prep and then drop into those stances, but he really went for them.
Let's see what the judges think about it. But he seems to be one of the older kids,
Seems like it, yeah.
so he'll be out of that division very soon, maybe next year.
Yeah. It's interesting to see the kids transition from these basic fundamentals to what we will see later today, actually, after these events, will be the Group B kids. So that's the next age group up. You see that
12 to
transition.
14?
Yeah. And that's actually a pretty tough group to compete in. You have 12-year-olds coming from this fundamental basic group, and then you also have kids older in the group who have been doing those forms for a longer period of time.
Longer time.
That's like middle school.
Yeah.
That's like middle school. We have a small technical difficulty here. Seems one of the screens is down. The scoring screen, to be specific.
Yeah, and I can see all of the IT people, the camera people. I can see.
Got paparazzi on us right now.
I can see them pointing a lot. They're looking at their equipment, they're staring at their screens, and they're pointing a lot.
This is common for things to happen in competitions. I will say that the Brazil organizing committee for this event has been fantastic. Really good organization, pre-planning, everything's very well thought out, and the volunteers are excellent. They're super helpful.
So lots of volunteers around. I really liked everybody in good spirits, everybody helping each other. And technical problems, they do happen. I do a lot of different events, and those things sometimes they just happen. All right, they're using just one screen right now, and they
Problem
just
solving.
gave us the score for Elijah, 8.446. And it seems like both screens are back on.
Next competitor,
There was a
Isaac
problem.
Suri,
And
Adriano Rojas.
sometimes you can tell like
Quintel,
competent
prepare.
they are, not only because there was a problem, but how they fix it.
Yes,
Their
yes.
attitude towards it and
Yes.
how they fixed it so quickly. It was just a couple of minutes, and now we're back on, and Isaac is getting ready to take the carpet. Isaac from Mexico. Isaac.
Joining us now, we're halfway through the Group C boys Changquan in our morning session.
Again, they're all performing the same routine, but they do have the freedom to add their own flavor to it, and you really see that some athletes really making the routine their own. Was that low enough?
Wasn't quite low enough, and we did have a stumble earlier in the event, or earlier in the form.
The perform.
You saw earlier he took another extra little step that might also be a deduction. So these forms are so compulsory and so Yeah, compulsory is a good word for it, that they have to be done exactly as they're created.
There's something expected from every stance, every position. You need to
Yes.
perform it a
The
certain
direction, everything, yeah.
way. And if you think the judges are going to be nicer because these are kids, you're in for a surprise. They're just as tough on the kids as they are on the adults, if not more. Argentina seems to be dominating our chat right here, encouraging all of their athletes. It's good to see you guys all here cheering them on.
It is, and Argentina's been in the chat since this morning, but our first Argentinian athlete will come on soon. He'll be 17th in this event. You guys have been here for a really long time.
Very passionate fans.
We love it. I love it.
Isaac patiently waiting for his score. Judges are crunching the numbers.
Yeah, so the judges on the below table are comprised of the A judges and the B judges. They will submit their score once the athlete finishes their routine. And the final say will go to the head judge who sits at the top of the table.
And they're all experienced judges. They're certified. They're trained for this.
Yes, that's correct.
Can anybody become a wushu judge?
They do have to go through. It's very good to have a wushu background, and they all have to go through a rigorous training certification process. They not only have to take a test, but they also have to have practice judging previous competitions.
And how long does that training take?
This I'm not quite sure of. I can get an answer for you
Darko Alejandro
later in the day.
Rosnato, prepare.
Because even here, they have their meetings, they have training, they're always talking, discussing, asking questions. Yesterday they did it this morning as well. They seem to be very, very well prepared. That is Ethan from the US of A.
See the glitter in his hair.
Yeah, he's got style.
Yeah, he's got style. That was a little style there too, a little flavor added. Right there as well. His leg is a little bent there on that drop stance, his front leg. It's supposed to be straight all the way. These kids have so much control.
And they're not even 11 yet.
Nope. Clean performance. A few deductions I saw here and there. So let's see what his score will be.
Beautiful, beautiful moves. Beautiful movement right there. Even though we did see a couple of deductions. Kid moves beautifully. Ethan doing a good job for representing his country. And he's another example that we see they have to do the same, but he doesn't have to be the same as everybody else.
Yes, for sure.
Making the routine really his own.
Yeah,
Starting with the gel on his hair, a little bit of glitter there.
That's definitely what makes these events more exciting to watch. You can see they're at a slower pace compared to the previous events we were watching. But when we have these athletes coming out with this flavor, this style, it makes it exciting.
8.496 for Ethan from the USA. That makes him 6th place for the moment, but we still have lots to go. I think Bolivia is up right now. Let's see who's our next competitor. Darko Alejandro. One of the few athletes wearing just a black and silver silk. Maybe the only one, black and silver.
I like it. Adds to the mystery. So you'll notice some athletes with these stances, they'll really hold it for 1 second, 2 seconds. And some athletes will move out of it. When you hold it for a little bit longer, you basically show the judges, see, I've hit this stance, it's low enough.
So it's a smart move to hold it for a second.
Yes, it's
right?
a smart move. It just guarantees you want to be 100% sure that you're executing the form well. That was Darko from Bolivia. Argentina, don't worry. We have your Argentinian competitor up next after this one.
Yeah, it has finally arrived. All the Argentinian fans waiting since the beginning of the day, cheering them on. It is the time. It is time right now.
Let's see those flags in the chat.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Right now we're waiting for Darko's score, and then we'll have Argentina on the floor. This is exciting.
It's very exciting. And we still have a really strong few boys left in this event. So, again, holding my breath, those standings aren't final yet.
Nobody is safe. Renato is next. Renato Benjamin Mancilla.
And he looks confident. Look at him.
Yeah, he's not playing around. 7.440, 11th place for Darko from Bolivia.
That's the 52 deductions. Those are all deductions for his empty stance.
Next competitor, Gennaro Benjamin Mancia. Matthew Yamping Wang, prepare.
Argentina, where are your flags?
Where are my Argentinian fans at? Let's go.
Ooh, I see them. I see them.
Renato walks in confidently, take his place, ready to start.
Some of these stances are a little bit too high. Gonna come in on his last stance here. Strong finish.
Ready to finish his performance. That was Renato Benjamin Mancilla from Argentina.
Look at his smile. You can see he's relieved to be done.
I did it.
He's happy.
Let's see what the judges thought about it. You'll be curious to see how much international experience he has. 7.183 for Renato Benjamin from Argentina. Let us know in the chat, you guys that are cheering for him. Is it his first international experience? How experienced is he internationally?
Next
Is it his first competition?
Matthew Yamping Wang. Maximus Crowell, prepare.
So we have Matthew from USA on carpet right now.
Strong start right there.
Strong start. Yeah, the pace at which these athletes choose to do these forms is that rhythm we're talking about. They each have their own interpretation of it.
Similar silk as we saw earlier with the gradient white and pink. Beautiful kick right there. Held it up for a second.
Pretty solid performance. His pace was a little bit slower, but still really, really clean.
Solid performance from Matthew Yum from the USA.
If you're joining us now, we're at the 13 Pan American Wushu Championships, and we're wrapping up our first little chunk of the morning session with Group C boys Changquan. We have 2 more competitors left in this event.
8.240 from Matthew from the USA.
Next competitor, Maximus Crowell. Eric Gunawan, prepare.
Super sharp. I don't know if you can tell, but his hair is actually dyed blue to match his silks.
Nice.
There's a slight bobble there. I don't know if they'll catch that.
Very beautiful low stance right there.
Beautiful. These kids are honestly so impressive. I'm sure if you asked some of the adult competitors and older kids to perform this, it would not be the same as how these kids are executing it. These kids are incredible.
I wish I had that technique.
Yeah. It's never too late.
Maybe we can get some private classes with him.
So intense all the way
He
throughout.
isn't even walking out, his intense. Maximus. Let's see what they got for Max, but that was a strong, powerful performance. He left it all on the carpet.
Final score to Maximus
8.583. That lands him a 4th place.
Super solid score, especially towards the end of this event. Almost made the podium, but 4 is still a really, really, really good placing.
Next competitor, Eric Gunawan.
We have our last competitor for this event. Eric from the US is coming up next on the carpet.
He's got fire in his eyes.
Yes, that intensity. Very fast. See how he has a different rhythm to his form?
Very different, yes.
It's very exciting to
Made
watch.
his
Very
own.
fresh to the eyes. Clean. Super grounded. clean
He
performance.
did it. If I'm on the podium, I would be a little nervous right
I
now.
would be holding my breath.
Yeah. You know, if I can tell you, I'm a little nervous watching this right now. Like, what's gonna happen?
We ask for the winning athletes for Girls Group C Changquan to prepare for the award ceremony.
Dun dun dun. Surprise, surprise. Let's see what they've got for Eric. 8.340 for Eric Gunnawan.
From USA.
Deductions there for his stances.
Couple of deductions
And then I
there.
think that 70 might have been for a sway that he had in his body. Wow, look at that the final standing. Super solid scores, 20 boys.
Super, super close. Very competitive, and that just tells us how strong the next generation is coming.
It's the future of wushu, people. You saw it right here first.
Keep an eye on these guys. Keep an eye on these guys. They're going to be around for a long, long time. Getting ready for the medal ceremony here. It's going to be in a few moments.
On Taolu platform, we are happy to announce our first award ceremony of the day.